Your morning coffee is about to become your garden's best friend. Stop throwing away pure plant gold every single morning. That trash in your coffee maker is actually a secret weapon that can transform any plant into a green paradise. But there's a catch. Do it wrong and you'll kill everything in your garden. I'm about to blow your mind with the hidden power of coffee grounds, the science behind why it works, and the seasonal timing that separates plant killers from plant whisperers. Stick around because I'm sharing the ancient coffee ritual that'll have your neighbors begging for your gardening secrets. Hit that like button and subscribe. It's time to garden on the radio. I don't know if you knew this or not, but America runs on coffee. Literally. Now, I don't think it's the number one drink. I think actually tea trumps that worldwide. But I think here in the United States, coffee is it. And it's really interesting because it's a simple morning ritual that is the social glue that puts people into productivity. Now, whether you're sealing a business deal or surviving a very awkward date, coffee is the way to go, right? You sip, and then you go. And of course, it's evolved over a lot of years. I remember when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, that coffee was one of those kind of things that you didn't drink because it was horrible. In fact, we used to say that people were mean that drank coffee. Only mean people drank because it just tastes horrible. Okay. Today, we've got sugars, we've got creams, we've got things to mask the flavor. And here at the thingsgreen.com Botanical Gardens, we drink way too much coffee. As a matter of fact, it says that there's $327 a year is spent on coffee in a household. Here at the thingsgreen.com Botanical Gardens, we're like $4,219. Yeah, we are. And can I prove that? Yes, I can. Here's the grounds right here to prove it. I've got a whole bucket full of coffee grounds. Oh, by the way, did you know that you can go to some of your favorite baristas and coffee shops and you can actually ask them to ask them for the coffee grounds? And there's a reason for that, because coffee grounds are actually good for your plants. So let's dive into that here for a second. How is it good for your plants? Well, as you can tell over here, we have coffee grounds that I am taking and throwing all over my studio desk, but that's okay. Coffee grounds, after they have been used, after they've been spent, you know how that works. You could either put those little K-cups and put them in a machine, or you could put them inside an espresso machine. I said it correctly. It's not espresso, it's espresso. And then, or you could put it into just a regular coffee machine. And usually we put way too much coffee inside there in the filter, and it goes through and it percolates through, and we have ourselves our morning Java. By the way, I used to call it mud. I still do. Coffee is also called mud. But anyway, what you have left are these coffee grounds. And you need to take these coffee grounds and not throw them away. Even if you have those K-cups, take them, open them up, and then put them on a tray or maybe in a colander or something, or a sieve. And basically what we want to do is we want to dry them out. You don't want to use warm or wet coffee, even though they are going to get wet once we put them in the garden, but we don't want them wet. Just like these are right here. It's super, super dry, and they're kind of clumpy right now because we just haven't been using them a whole lot. But that's the whole thing. Look at this. We have big old clumps here. Look at that. Big old coffee. This one obviously came from a K-cup. So you could tell how that came in a K-cup because it's nice and round. So we have the best of all of those worlds over here, depending on whom is going to be getting the coffee. So you're going to take these coffee grounds and you're going to lay them down out someplace. Put them on a sheet of paper. You can put them on cardboard. Put them outside. It doesn't matter. Just dry them out. I mean, if the truth was known, we take our coffee grounds and we just throw them right on top of here, and we just leave them alone. And then the next one, the next, and before you know it, they're dry. Pretty simple. So why would we use these coffee grounds in the garden in the first place? And we're not just talking the garden, we're talking, of course, in the landscape. All of our landscape plants can use coffee grounds. All of our house plants can use coffee grounds. Well, coffee grounds, albeit they're not high in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and even in minor nutrients, there's just minute particles of those in there. The thing that they're really good for is acidifying the soil. Now, soil acidity is super, super important. Measured on a scale from 0 to 14, or 0 to 14, depending which way you're looking, 0 to 14, 7 is neutral. Let's say 0 to 14, 7 is neutral. And we want our plants to be in about a 5.5 or to about a 6.5 on the pH scale. Now, we measure that by getting either some litmus paper or get yourself just a cheap and cheesy pH reader that you can get them at the store. Really simple. It talks to there's anion and cation activity that's happening within the soil that's bouncing back and forth, and it reads it, and then you get your soil pH. If it's above 6.5, you're creeping up into that alkaline side. Most plants don't want that. They want to be on the left side of that. That's what they want. They want to be on that left side for the soil pH to be a little bit lower. Now, soil pH, when properly balanced, is magic. What it does is that it unlocks the soil, it unlocks the nutrients in the soil so the plants can absorb it. You see, if soil pH is not properly balanced, what's going to happen is that you could fertilize and fertilize and fertilize, not going to do any good, because the soil doesn't know that it has to be unlocked. Look at this right here. This is the key, or it's actually a key to help keeping your soil on the acidic side, to unlock those nutrients. Wow, isn't that just amazing when you think about that? And it wakes you up, doesn't it? Well, it's going to wake your plants up too, because that soil pH is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now, when do we actually apply this stuff? Well, it's really, really simple. Do it on the first day of spring, the first day of summer, the first day of fall, or the first day of winter. Depending on where you're at in that year, just remember, you don't need it more than 4 times a year. Now, if you've got 15 feet of snow outside your yard, you don't have to put it out. But definitely spring, summer, and fall is going to be great to help this out. Now, you don't have to put a whole bunch of it out. For instance, if you're going to be planting, if you're going to be installing, say, a 1-gallon plant, I would put probably 1-2 tablespoons. That's what I would do. Just 2 tablespoons while you're planting. If you got a 5-gallon bucket, you want to do 1, 2, 3 tablespoons, and make them heaping tablespoons. You don't have to do this, perfectly and line it up. And then for a 15-gallon size container, go ahead and put 5 or 6. So it's not rocket science on this, which is really kind of interesting. So that being said, you take it and you want to mix it in with the soil. If you put it just on top, it's going to get all clumpy like this is right here, and we don't want that. So make sure that you put it out nice and flat. You can put it on top, sprinkle it on like salt. You're going to take in, work it into the soil, and then you water in. And that right there is the way that we use coffee grounds in our yards, in our gardens, and in our houseplants. Oh, by the way, for our houseplants, you could use just 1 tablespoon. That's all you need to do. It's pretty much just that simple.